their planes. And I think recent experiences seems to be agreeing with that, because this particular plane that crashed on Sunday has a very terrible history. If you consider the age of the plane itself, if you consider some other things that have happened. But I want to push most of the blame, interestingly, on the regulator, because we have all spoken very beautifully well, particularly that air travel is still very safe. But you see, we must come to a point to accept that where there is an accident, there should have been some preparations or arrangements on ground to help save the lives of those who ordinarily would have been able to have been saved. Now, the incident of Sunday, we learned some minutes there was communication between the pilot and the Tola. And the place where the accident happened, if you watch television, when the governors went to visit, you could imagine the site, no roads. In fact, we read on newspapers that they had to bring pure water sachets to quench the fire. I mean, it speaks so terrible of the system. When we want to say that airline operators are not doing their work, there is a regulating body that is supposed to ensure that these people are doing what is expected of them. And therefore, to simply put it, the airline operators have their own faults, but I want to believe that these faults are allowed to happen because of the nonchalant attitude of our government, particularly the regulating bodies. And I must say that this attitude of crying after the whole worst has been done should be condemned very seriously, because lives have been wasted, and people should understand that you don't just play politics with people's life.
Okay, then.
And when people go on air and begin to shed crocodile tears and without doing that which they are expected to do, it calls for a lot of concerns.
Okay. It's like Mr. Abu wants
Yes, thank you very much. I want to support what he has said. Honestly, it is very precious. And we have said it, I think, in this forum and so many other fora, that the major thing that we have, problem that we have in this country, is the fact that those that are supposed to do certain things, just like the last speaker said, wouldn't do it. Sometimes ago, an aircraft developed fault 3 times in a month or within a short period in Australia. And all the aircrafts of that grade were dropped for almost 1 year from flying until they carried out surgical operation. How much have we done that in this country? All the air crises, crashes that we have had, the reports, where are they? What has the government done about it? And so many other crises in this country that we have had panels, investigation, bureaus. What is it that they have done? What have people been told? That is the reason why things don't seem, there are no, the systems that are there are so weak, they are not working. For God's sake, this last incident, we have been told not to speculate. But we cannot afford not to speculate, because I had gone online and I discovered that very few aircrafts in this country have their ages between 2 and 5. In fact, I went online and I saw an aircraft of 41 years. For God's sake, what level of maintenance will you be keeping? Is it not the same country that the federal government says sometimes that a car that is more than 8 years should not come into the country? Why should we not have that kind of regulation that an aircraft of so age should not be in our country? And why should we not be having reports of former crashes so that we can know what to do about it? It's not enough for them to go and say we have given it to the appropriate authority. I mean, let Nigerians know so that they can make input.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abu. We'll come back to all that later. It's like Barrister Adewumi wants to say something.
Yes. The bottom line of all this problem is corruption. I do not see, I cannot see any aspect of Nigerian life that is not corrupt.
Yes.
You are in a position, you want to make sure that you make the most of it into your pocket.
Yes.
I mean, see our former governors, former legislators are being tried for corruption. So it is obvious that there is serious collusion between the operators and the regulators.
Yes.
Before the 1983 plane crash in which I was involved happened, travel by air, on landing, plane will be shaking as if you are in a train, and you'll be praying that, oh God, let me land safely. It was after the 93 crash that they discovered that F-28 was already wiped out in another country.
Yes.
And they were brought to Nigeria. NCAA official has approved it.
Yes.
I mean, there is no way. I am happy. I don't know whether that recommendation has been implemented now. That the Director General of NCAA should step down, step aside. If he hasn't done that, then the presidency has the presidency must give us an explanation for delaying that recommendation. So it all boils down to corruption.
Okay.
Sorry, let me just...
No, before you, I think you've said so much about the airline operators. Let's allow him to have a say also. Alhaji Ameen. Yes. You have anything to say on behalf of the operators?
Of course, yes, sir. Yes, I want to lay emphasis on the corruption issue.
Okay.
The government